2 Glowing Kazi. Take 2. The first take was so bad when I just started talking. I was like, it's Guild Wars 2 in 2026. As you know, I'm a big fan of Guild Wars 2. And on this channel, I think it's one of the games you should work into your rotation. The last video I did about Guild Wars 2, the company, AreaNet, and then whatever their parent company is investing a lot of money. Guild Wars 2 made a lot of money for them. The game has a bunch of expansions. The only difference is you can have an account through AreaNet, which that's what my main account is, or you can have a Steam account. I went to play Guild Wars 2, and for whatever reason, that kind of non-Steam game install blew up. So I just installed it on Steam, and I'm starting from scratch. Now, I have all the expansions on the other one, and so I don't want to respend all that money. So I'm going to see how far I can go with this before I feel the need to start spending money. Number 2, I have so many bets. I'm just all set up. Almost in every MMO RPG, I always make a tailor first to make bags, whatever it is to make bags. Some games have changed it now that leather workers can make bag and metal workers can make bag, but really you just want to increase your storage capacity. Guild Wars 2 has a lot of quality of life things that just make it a great game to play. Unfortunately, you got to see me go through my inventory because I have such a small bag, so I have to think about that. But basically, here's kind of another thing. In any of these games, 1 to 10 you can do within an hour. And I got a little bit above 10 in 54 minutes. And then I stopped recording and then have cut it down. I'm not going to subject you to all 54 minutes. Probably the first video I ever had, I subjected you to silence of a whole video. Video number 1. I think I either remade that video or in a fever dream YouTube, I wanted to remake that video. I already have a character on this account. It's level 69 Necromancer. Necromancer is the easiest class to level. You're a tank that does AoE damage. It's just great, right? I just make Necromancers nonstop. I'm enamored with a hunter because I want to collect these pets all over because it gives you the Pokemon thing. You're going to collect different pets. I start off as a plant person. And I normally don't play human characters because I'm human and I know what it's like to be a human character. If you're into the Guild Wars lore, you were fighting the Char at one point, but they're a playable class. The Nords, which are, you can imagine, people from the north that are big. There's these little science people. And I've made a lot of little science people. And when the expansion came out for the plant people, I got that, made a bunch of plant people. And I usually don't roll them because I have an English accent. And also, just this is a complete aside, suddenly Warhammer is in my feed nonstop in my shorts. So I'm doom scrolling Warhammer, learning all about it. I didn't know about it. It seems kind of cool, except the British accent, right? Nothing against you British people. I love you. Thank you for coming over here and populate most of this country and all your bad habits that we got. I didn't start the video off directly at 0. I'm like 6 or 7 at this point. Might be even a little bit higher. This is what I'm going to recommend. Almost all MMORPGs. Don't worry about quests when you first start. Just absolutely go out and kill everything. Now, Guild Wars 2, I'm going to tell you what they've done to even get someone like me. They'll drop loot boxes that are specifically give you starter gear, so you don't have to do all the quests to get starter gear. So it's well thought out. You're going to get to level 10 in an hour. You're just going to go out and just unlife everything. It's so stupid. And I just missed out on beating that boss B, getting that sweet juicy XP. So I'm running around my starter area with my dog. So why should you do it? The game is so good, I will replay it. And I bought extra character slots, so I have a ton of characters on my other account. All of them are the max level, and the game's great. But what I'd recommend is your first character, you might make a bunch of characters up to level 10 to figure out what class you like and how to play. And there's different ways to play each class, right? But the thing that you're going to eventually do, if you explore, if you get all the things in an area, you get other bonuses and other things. So it's a really good game if you want to complete things, you don't want to rush through and do those other things, right? I think it's a good game to play, to see the whole map, visit everywhere. You get something for it. And there's a lot of achievements in Guild Wars 2. If you like PvP, it's an absolutely great game. It has Realm, that's really fun. If you get a good RVR going, it's fantastic, where you're fighting a different realm. Those are really fantastic. It's a really good game mode. I'm normally not a PvP, but I will play that. I have played that. I haven't played it in a while. XP for hour. But in all these things, they give you XP for doing it that way also. So I knew someone that leveled up their characters only through PvP. So you can do that as well. What about the end game and those kind of things? World of Warcraft turned me off almost to all of that, because I don't want to get yelled at because my DPS is whatever. Not whatever some meter says it should be. And when I'm playing into Division 2, which has some things where we're not losing ever because of me. Or lack of DPS. We're losing because people overextend. Sorry. And I'm going to tell you this. So there's one character, I did a video called Failure. It's really about Microsoft, but I'm doing the Division 2 and I have this one character. And that character this week has not been able to complete that title basin. The first two characters did it easy. I even did the title basin like the day before, just for SNGs, YouTube SNGs. But this character has done it, I don't know, about 15 times and failed every single time. And I don't know if it's the build of the character I use. I still use the same build. One thing to think about, my main character, all its armor is level 20, so it has 8% more damage reduction. But I have another character, I'm sorry, all of a sudden I got frog in my throat. Sorry, YouTube. But I think it's in the middle of the week. You get people that aren't hip to, like, I'm going to get my legendaries done in the beginning of the week. So you get people that haven't played as much or don't know how to play or do that. And so normally what has happened is we've overextended. And what was brutal is yesterday I was doing it. I stayed in a group. We failed like 6 or 7 times. And then we got a group. Wasn't the most overpowered group, but we were playing really well. We went through that hard part that I always die at. And then we went to the next part. And then just, there's a part where it's near the end. It's the last spawn. Spawns in the front and in the rear. And I forgot about the rear, and then we died. That's 100% on me as being a 9,000 level, whatever. Okay, so we're back in Guild Wars. So I'm a hunter. I'm going to eventually look for these juvenile pets, and so I'm going to collect all these pets. That's one thing I liked in WoW. WoW even went so far as they gave you a mode that was like Pokemon, and they got rid of that recently. And I did that up to like level 25, and then I quit. It became too tedious. I want you to think about this. The other thing about Guild Wars is that it scales to your level. So if I came back to this area as a level 80, it would scale to level 80 for me, and it's level 9 here for me, or whatever level I'm at. And so what makes that good is every area is fresh. If I go into those expansions, it's going to scale to whatever level I'm at. So you're not trying to fight content that's too far above you. Conversely, sometimes it's nice going back to those areas and there was content you couldn't do. But as far as I've always, and I don't do a lot of dungeons in Guild Wars 2, I've always been able to finish and see all the content in Guild Wars 2. So this is the thumbnail screenshot. The other thing I like about Guild Wars 2, there's a lot of open world kind of mini quest instances, boss fights. So you get a group. There were some other people already in here, and then I started. You're going to see them. They'll come into the screen. That someone else's cat, Stalker, is in there with me. There's a couple other people. I've zoomed this. And I'm going to say one thing. I normally put what's called a chrome filter on all this stuff because it usually brightens up a little bit. The first place I was at was probably the brightest I'd ever seen in game of any game. Like, it was too bright. And I was like, man, if I put that chrome filter. So I didn't include that part because it would have been brutal. Like, you know, my night vision, YouTube, gone. So as you do some of these, when you see that little yellow heart, that's a side quest that an area giver gives you. You help them out in the area, and then you get this that's called karma, and you get some of that, and you can spend it sometime. There's some good items, and you can, it's another form of currency that you can use. Roxy's looking at me. She wants to bark so bad. Roxy, what do you think about Guild Wars 2? Pause up or pause down? Nothing, YouTube. Because Roxy's a dog. She's more about Linux. Not really. I don't know. Also, you might have seen, I'm going to give Linux a little bit of rest. I did a lot of content on Linux. I'm also posting shorts on TikTok. I haven't ported them to YouTube Shorts yet. And I haven't included those in my counts. I'm getting near 500. That's kind of a milestone for me, 500 videos. And I used to include my shorts in that. I haven't included my latest shorts. I'm probably past 500 now if I included the shorts now. So I was thinking about doing a live. Mrs. Ronan Kazi always wants me to do lives because she will see other people doing lives. You should do a live. I said, well, probably more popular on Twitch. Me by myself looking at a chat and playing a game and responding to the chat and then kind of talking. I've had a couple lives. It's really hard for me to talk and play the game. Unless I talk about the game like, look, I just owned that spider. I don't want to see that, so I don't know why you would want to see that. What I wish Mrs. Ronan Kazi would do, if she would help manage the chat, that would be great. And I would appreciate that, but she's not going to do that. So I may do a live, I may not at number 500. I don't know. And it's like the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. I don't think anyone's going to come. The reality is this, YouTube. This is just a general rule of thumb that I've observed because you know I'm about metrics. 10% of your subscribers watch your videos. That's really your audience. So most of my videos, I'm underperforming a little bit when I get 20 or 30. The Linux videos, I do way more. I get some more Linux views than I have even subscribers sometimes. But in general, I get between 20 and 30 people. I got 345 as of this, maybe 344. So I usually, a video is successful if I get like 34 views on it. If I was going to do something like Epstein Files, Charlie Kirk, you know, those things, that's a whole different story because that's a different type of content. I purposely stay away from that content. You don't need to have my opinion. I don't have a unique opinion. My opinion is somewhere in the spectrum between this side and this side, so it doesn't matter. It's not going to make a difference. And when I listen to some of that stuff, the people start off the video because they don't have a lot of content. Pause. Let's go one step deeper. I'm trying to make fresh content for you to go on every time and then talk about things. A response video to someone else's content, to me, that's a little dubious. That little marker there, when you do that, and if I click it in my inventory, it's going to spawn a guy that I can kill, and I get a point that I can spend to help improve my character. So this is kind of an point when you see those around the world. I don't think it's that great making content where I'm just responding to what someone else said. So sometimes you'll hear me talk about other YouTube content, and I'll be like, I couldn't stand that content. If I could give the person a shout out where they wouldn't feel bad, I would do that for their horrible content. But, right, I don't want to do that. So I just keep it mum. A lot of those people will drag the content on in the beginning because they have nothing to say, and they're just going to play someone else's video. That, to me, is not what are you adding to it. And there's a lot of that. That's not really what I want to do. I don't want to... Sometimes I get ideas from out there. I'll see something. I get ideas from real world. Like right now it's snowing in Michigan. It's freezing cold today, like super, super, super cold. You'll know the date of this video. So within a span of those days, it's freezing cold. It's cold. I'm an old geezer. I don't want to go out. But I also realize that's what old codgers do, is they don't want to go, hey, it's too cold, YouTube, I can't go out the house. So I've been shoveling and salting and doing all that. And of course I want to make a video. Who wants to have a video of me shoveling? Now if Mrs. Ronan Kazi would be out there and the camera, I would do it just because YouTube. But that's not going to happen, right? So you don't want to see that. The other good thing about Guild Wars 2 is they give you, at level 10, they give you a mount. You can fight underwater. It's easy to, maybe you can't fly, but it's easy to get gliding, right? It's not a thing you got to unlock. World of Warcraft had this thing you had to unlock every, no thanks. I'd rather not fly. Okay, so here's a big open world boss. These people have been farming this quest until they spawn this guy, and I have like fire, so I'm just lighting fire on my character. I think I did the most damage. All right, so I'm next to a little water. I'm like, where to go next? I'm going to go in this water. And they give you that stuff as you level up. They say, here's a breathing mask, and then here's your weapon underwater. So this is another fantastic thing. You could just hunt underwater. You could be Jacques Cousteau, and you could catalog the various denizens of Guild Wars 2 that are underwater. And sometimes there's those points and those other things. So you don't want to see me shoveling snow. Maybe if I had those meta glasses, maybe I would do that. But it's pretty boring, right? It'd be nice. Okay, here's the nice thing. To see me suffering, that might be great. If you're in a warm place, I lived in Arizona for a year. Believe me, my worst suffering was the day it was 116 and I went for a walk. And then I came back inside my house that had AC and just sat down, and I probably fell asleep. Almost time to give up. We got a little bit less to go. I hope you're having a great winter, YouTube. I hope you're warm wherever you're at. Please remember to hydrate. Don't overexert yourself. Dress in layers, YouTube. And if you don't go outside, you could do Guild Wars 2. Start a new character with me, Ronan Kazi. This is Ronan Kazi. Bye.